Good morning from Sapporo Station, 7:20, I made it. There's my train, 7:30 departure to Wakanai, no less. Now Wakanai, very kind of Polynesian name, I just love it. Most northern station in Japan. And here I am at the fabulous Sapporo Station at, beginning of morning rush hour. Probably has been on for a while. And I have a reservation in the Hokkaido Express train with all her beauty. Now this is not a bullet train because the bullet trains haven't come this far north due to the infrastructure of tunnelling, etc. Won't be happening till next decade apparently. But look, I don't mind. I upgraded my ticket to have a, they call it a green car. Look, it's almost like the Irish, the wee Irish lucky thing. And that's my seat number 8. That's a good number for me as well. Right at the front, I hope I'm not going backwards. I'm not quite sure yet. It came in this way, but maybe it goes out that way. We will see. I am going to be going backwards. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe the driver's up there. I don't know. Who knows? Only second time or maybe third on a train, longer distance train here in Japan. But today, the 2nd of October, marks the beginning of my 21-day adventure around Japan. And you can tell how excited I am to have finally made this. And not such a big train by the look of it, but certainly passengers getting on, and they run to precision timing, so I'm not panicked yet to get on board. It's a very interesting system because it's so carefully controlled in precise ways. You can even look at this, line up in twos. These signs up here, you can actually read them. Limited express, different trains, different names, where to stand, where not to stand, etc., etc. So I will just jump on board and be talking to you real soon. I might take a wee walk down just before. Now when you're at the station, the best thing to do, especially with luggage, is to find the elevator. There are lifts, but not always so obvious on big long platforms. That there is the regular class, and that still looks very comfortable. I'm not a snob. I don't do business class or premium economy, but on this occasion, for the little bit extra relatively for the 21 days, I want to be able to actually get a seat. And actually already for the next 7 days, one of the green car trains that I was wanting to get was already fully booked. But of course I could still get a seat in the regular seats. But I chose this upgrade because of a lot of reasons. I chose the upgrade because, I have so much luggage. I hate to say it. I should get into more minimalist packing. I say that every time. So, I've got the big chunky bag there. It still was within the limit of New Zealand's weight. But also my trusty camera gear and phones. And even though I'm not travelling high tech, although I do have those upgrades like the wireless microphones and stuff, which I haven't really got round to using yet, I just like to have that, within my sight. And of course there's always popping it up here, but maybe next door isn't so deep because there is actually 4 abreast and sometimes even 6 in some of the trains. But on this green car, well, look, we've got the extreme comfort of having just 3 or 4 maximum. So here we are, here I am, and this is about a 5-hour journey, and my mission, if I achieve it, is going to get to the North Cape, which is the most northern point of Japan, on my very first day of this pass. It is a sort of commemorates my 40-year-ago Eurail pass, 3 months around Europe. And one of the very first things I really wanted to do was to get up to the Arctic Circle, which I could do on the Scandinavian part of that pass. So I will go as far north as the Japanese railway goes, which is Wakanai, and about another 30 kilometres is the most northern point of Japan. And I haven't quite worked out how to get there. I haven't been able to get precise information about bus services, unfortunately. But there are many ways that Auntyroztravels can find a way there. A number of ones. I mean, you know, you say in this day and age hitching isn't exactly safe, but obviously it's the ride back that's the problem, not just the destination. Well, then again, I did get my international driving license, but I'd hate to forfeit money just for a few hours to get there. That is a possibility, because actually the cars, you know, are definitely cheaper than New Zealand and probably more economical to run, of course. So, and then again, there's always the chat up line, oh, couldn't you take me there? Which I don't often do, by the way, but I'm just keeping a broader picture into my ways and means of actually achieving my goal and getting to the most northern point. Now, I've seen the roads, I've seen it on YouTube, and they're marvellous, being such northern roads. They're well kept, and I really would like to take this journey, because there's a lot of abandoned houses on the way, and I think it would be quite amazing to be able to do this today. But we will see. First to get to Wakanai, and that's about 5 or 6 hours. I think I get there about 1ish, about 7:30 we are departing. So Auntie Roz is about to say goodbye, unless we're going to take off now, and I can keep the phone rolling to see what it looks like as we go out the station. And tomorrow is a early start for me, although these are flexible, but I do have a booking for one of the early trains to get further down, and strangely enough ending in the same town where the zoo was, which I went on the tour yesterday to. But there are many other things actually happening in that town, so I thought, well, I'll take night 2 there. But I'm actually going not for the scenery or even the sauna. I'm going to see these wacky people who have got a sort of a B&B, a bed and breakfast, and they're apparently a bit eccentric. Well, that's the feeling I get. They're collectors of objet d'art, whatever that word means, of bits and pieces. And I thought, well, how interesting to go and check out some people in sort of rural Japan who have a bed and breakfast, which is also a onsen. You know, apparently they're right there where the springs are, and they incorporate it into their accommodation. So that's me for tomorrow night, and then of course I'm getting down to the other northern city of Hokkaido for a few more nights. The aim of this particular segment of my journey is to reach Osaka on the 9th of October, which is 7 days away, because on the 10th of October I have the expo ticket once again. And, you know, people are fleecing them for a high value because they've sold out, and it's right at the end of the exhibition. They call it an exhibition, but I have got tickets for the Japanese pavilion. I'm very lucky. You go into a lottery to get your tickets for the pavilions. Okay, I feel like I want to just hold on to the camera here, because imminent departure. Well, I'm trying to find the title somewhere. Look at those school kids. That's what I'm observing there out the window. Another thing I've observed too is when I've been walking around, obviously my hair colour is a bit obviously different, but the colour of my clothes tends to be a bit brighter, and I don't know what it is. Even in Tokyo, I didn't see a lot of colour in the clothes, and as you can see, the people going to work are very much regimented into the sort of suit and tie look, which is great because if that's the uniform, you know, very professional and well tailored, yes. But then even the woman, it's unusual to see colours, and me being such a colourful person, I felt almost a little bit obvious walking down the street, and I've toned it down today, you know, because that's my travelling clothes anyway. But you know, I like to feel a bit bright with a bit of colour, but unfortunately I haven't seen a lot of it. We're into the autumnal season, but it's still beautifully warm here. I love the climate. It's dry, it's crisp, and it's definitely a warmer autumn so far. than we would be feeling in Dunedin. But when it snows here, you're talking snow big time, and that will be coming, and the leaves have already started to change. I'd love to come back one day and see Sapporo in the winter. Relatively peace and quiet compared with how we know the Tokyo stations are. But this, of course, is not the underground, it's Japanese rail, a distinct difference in terms of ticketing and trains destinations. So confusing though. I mean, I still don't quite get it, how, you're sharing the same metro, you're sharing the same lines, the same tracks, but if it's a Japanese rail train, it's not covered under your metro ticket that you can buy, say, for 3 days. So I found that out last time. It was kind of almost a waste. But I get the feeling we're about to go right on the dot. Now if I pop down here, see if I can see the clock. Yes, there we go. It's maybe a little bit foggy in the distance there. You've already got the next trains up, 7:33, 7:58. So there's one straight after this on this track, number 8. We're letting that one over there go, which is more like a commuter, looks electric. Yes, that's an electric one. Actually, I have to be ignorant and say that they're probably all electric, probably. And as you notice the distinction between how they put the station, locations, Westgate, Eastgate, and I find that quite unusual. Well, it's almost like when you're doing GPS on maps, unless you've got a compass, how do you really know what east and west is? I mean, obviously you can think about where the sun is, maybe, but then you're inside. So here we go. Yay, 7:30 on the dot, we are off. And this is not a race, it's an endurance for Auntie Roz to maintain her health and disabilities over the next 21 days. And I am euphoric, actually, to be setting off on this journey. And it's such a beautiful day to do it too. Nobody else in my car so far, but of course there will be more stops coming up. When you hear the information that they're saying, it's very soft. It's very, there's no loud voices. But it is quite a difficult culture for me personally with them, such a chatterbox to actually grasp, because you really don't talk. You can't really talk. It's not offensive, it's just, I think it annoys people. And they like the quiet space in trains, especially buses even. I got a phone call and reprimanded by the driver for talking on the bus into my phone. And I don't know, I do understand it, I get it, there's so many people, but what I find, like when I've been in the hostel, was that because of this sort of no talking policy, you just get on and do your own thing and you don't engage in any way. It just seems to sort of be a distinct cutting of communication, and even I've sort of slipped into the we don't even look at people because there's no point, because you think you want to acknowledge them, which I do, and they almost look a bit startled, because I'm going to hold the door for them or smile even, but generally people just put their head down and get on with it. And I wonder if this is a result of this non-talking policy. Okay, maybe in public transport, but understandably in the hostels, but it's pretty extreme where you've got your own little area, whether it's curtained off or walled off, like in this last accommodation at the garden, and in the daytime too. But it's almost saying, well, people will be sleeping, you can't talk at all. You've got to respect each other's privacy. And to an extreme point where they've got signs up, no talking, no talking. So when the phone rings, and understandably you just want to answer it, like I did in the bus, and then found out that I was breaking the rules. And not only did he tell me about it, then some digital sign flashed up in front of me, no talking. Into your phone, no music. You've got the earphones, earbuds. That's what you do. Well, I'm glad to say that we are moving forward on a forward seat. We couldn't quite see it when I looked. Oh, he's just come about. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. How are you? Good. Good. Thank you. I'm not sure if you caught that, but I noticed a young conductor came in, did a wee bow at the door, and I, happily said good morning. And then I turned around and looked at him, and then he was bowing back at the door again. And I'm sure, I know it's not for me, but there must be something about, the procedure here, and I think it's quite beautiful if that's how things roll. I know that they come out and apologise if they're like a minute late. So anyway, I think this long video of 16 minutes might be a bit more enjoyable than the one I will post with the flight into Auckland of about a similar time. But maybe I'm being a wee bit selfish and not getting to the bullet points, which I'm not sure what they are anyway, because it's Auntyroztravels, and that's it for this moment. And until I catch up with you again, bye.